Yes, bro.
Well, go on, General.
Yes, family. How you doing?
Good enough, bro. How you still?
Yeah, man. Really good. Yeah, man. Not too bad, We're here. Third lockdown in the UK, but we're almost at the end of it, So
Real.
giving
Well,
time.
Jamaica not too far behind with this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. What's the situation there? It's like curfew, right?
Yeah, like we have like what 8 o'clock curfew. Like they started it in January, and then literally like yesterday, the day before, they said they're gonna continue it until like March.
Okay.
Sometime in March, I think like the 24th. You see me? So madness, man. But
Yeah. Are people
to
still
stay
going
alive.
out? Are they like they're still kind of roadside parties and that vibe still, or not really?
Yeah, no, people still are go out still. Like
Yeah.
people still, I mean, well, with the 8 o'clock curfew, kind of different. I know right before it was 10 o'clock, like people that still go like bars and certain places, like certain little hidden places, and party till 10. But
Yeah.
right now with the 8 o'clock thing, you don't really know what's set right now, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yes, it's a strange time. It's a strange time, but
tell you,
it's also like a good time for creativity. I feel like, obviously, like you got your new single out,
facts.
with the visual. How like how did congrats on the single? It's a wicked track. I really
Appreciate
like it. Love the vibe.
it.
Um, did you record it in the recent times, or is this a track you had put down from before?
Uh, yeah, if I tell you the story, like, I would have said, like, tell you the story about them tracks. Yeah, like it's crazy, bro. Cause I recorded that maybe like 3 years ago now.
Hmm.
You see me? It was one of those ones like Io had the beat. He had the beat on SoundCloud. I heard it. I'm going to link him on me and say, yo, I need this for myself. Like right now, you see me?
Because he's so
Yeah,
talented, man. He's so
yeah,
talented,
man.
Iotosh.
Yeah,
Dope
man.
producer, great lyricist as well.
Fully, bro. Top five dead or alive for me. And he knows that. You see me? So I just continue to say it, but like he's that good. Especially at the young age that he is at. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
like me and mostly like most of my stuff is IO, like me and IO from the jump, from like back when the first chat we did was Miss Jamaica.
Yeah.
Um that was our first ever link up. We did that track and got Saska on it probably like same week. You
Mhm.
see me? So there's always a crazy story. Anytime me and IO do something, there's always like some crazy story behind it. But like Lonely was there 3 years ago I recorded it. Maybe 2, 3 years ago I recorded it. But it was one of those ones that like was special to me from the jump. Like it was what I was going through at the time. I was in college.
Yeah.
That loneliness, that feeling like, long distance stuff, long distance relationships. And
Where were you in
um,
college?
I was at USC, so I used to go to college in LA, University of Southern California.
Okay.
Just in me fight on, you don't know. Yeah,
So
not jelly.
back and forth from Jamaica to
Yeah,
there.
man.
Mm.
Yeah, I would come here in the summers and like Christmas time, and then throughout the year I'd be in LA.
Yeah.
So definitely a great experience, like a lot of good knowledge, especially for the music industry, which is why I went over there. I mean, it kind of picked me. I wanted to go to New York, but then LA just chose me. USC chose me, so we give thanks, and it was just the right move. But a lot of good experiences, a lot of good knowledge, a lot of love I got out there as well, and especially being back in Jamaica now, it really shaped how I interact with the environment down here, musically, from a business standpoint, from just like the whole 9 yards.
Mm. And
So I did like my second.
I feel like musically you're, in a very different place to like the generic dancehall sound. It's obviously very R&B influence, very
Yeah.
soulful. Who were some of the like influences? Like, who were some of the musicians you used to listen to? Like,
I listened to stuff. So I mean, for kind of touch on that, like I began like most of my career doing rap, straight rap. You see me? So even if you check out like my older stuff, like Riding Through Kingston mixtape, I dropped when I was in college. It's like straight rap. You see me? Obviously like my own flair to it, but now I would say I'm finding my song right there in the middle. With the reggae, like, and if you hear my reggae sound now, it's like it has a lot of classic elements in there. It's like for me, like I'm a classic reggae lover. Like I love Lovers Rock, I love Dennis Brown, Sugar Minott, Bob Marley, obviously, you know, and like just them classic songs, that classic feel, because I feel like them really give you the feeling. You know what I mean? I say if we go back to a different genre, I mean I listen to Isley Brothers. You know what I mean? I say right now I listen to Brent Fayers hard, like him, I rate him. But you say who I grew up listening to, so I'll just say um Pharrell is my all-time favorite artist, producer, everything. Like just a creative. Like I would say he's had the biggest influence on me. But definitely Jay-Z, musically. Jay-Z, Pharrell, Kanye. Um, I listened to Maroon 5 growing up as well. I listened to Robin Thicke, Shaggy, obviously, Sean Paul, obviously. Yeah, a lot of those stuff played in my house. And then like I would go like to my grandma's house to watch BET. Because I couldn't watch it at home. My parents wouldn't allow me, so I would just sneak over, isn't it? Go watch them. Anything that was hot at the time, like Nelly was hot at the time, like Jay-Z was obviously hot at the time, Pharrell. So I would just be exposed to all of that from, and just fall in love with it. You see me? That was Bow Wow time too.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. So
so
you're talking
yeah,
like like early 2000s.
early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my first love in terms of like a time, but I definitely do, as I said, like go back in time a lot. Like I study the greats because like for me it's like more my music live forever. You see me? And I always found it funny, like how I listen to all the way back in the 70s. I'm listening to that every single day of the year. But like a song that was hot last year, I don't listen to that. So it's like for me, it's like studying them Monday and studying the greats and Pac. I don't even bring up Pac like when I was in LA, heavy Pac. You see me? So definitely study like them Monday and just find out says just feeling is real feeling and real emotion I'm going to it. It's not hype and it's not trendy. You know what I'm saying? And so like me really just build my music off of that for now. Say yo, whatever I'm feeling I can put in the music. Because people are gonna connect with it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So something like Lonely is that, that is me, that's my feeling. A lot of people feel that, isn't it?
The visuals are super dope, man. They're like really on point, and I can see all those influences there. Some of those early 2000 artists as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
creatively, what they were doing, and for sure. I mean, how important is it for you to like have those vocals so important?
Visuals. It is, it's like of the utmost importance. And I said that because especially when I was doing like strictly rap, it was a thing where, like you have your crowd, you have your audience of people who listen, but the average Jamaican not hearing that and being like, yo, all right, you see me? But me now say, yo, this is also me. Wherever it was in my development, that was still me. You see me? I would say I'm a lot more me than I was then, sound-wise and everything. You see me? And that's why I said like, I'm super happy where I am right now, but all of that was me. So for me, the visuals were super important in showing that, yo, it is a yard man, but am I doing things different? Like, this is what I'm seeing. This is actually what I'm feeling. This is what, you know what I mean? I say, like, bring that real life aspect to things and you're not just hearing something that sounds like, okay, this is a little different. Oh, but it's different, but I can see. You know what I mean? So visuals really play that big part in it, and especially even for like Miss Jamaica. It's just really,
it's like a Jamaica tourist board video. It's just like so clean, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, funny enough, like when I was shooting that video and we were conceptualizing it, me and my bro Jesse, who like we shoot everything from, you see me? But when we're conceptualizing that, I mean, a lot of times I write songs to videos, so I'm already seeing the video when I'm writing the song. So Miss Jamaica is a perfect example of that. I saw the whole video writing the song, so the video is not too hard to do because it's real life. You know what I mean? So we are talking about what we are do. So but I did want to also show like a big thing for me is showing Jamaica how I see it and like different ways. Like I feel like a lot of people show the same Jamaica too much. Everybody want to do the same thing. Like I don't want to do the same thing. I want to do my thing different. That's just personally me from when I was a kid. So it's like me, I said, no, like how Jay-Z and Pharrell them I fly to Jamaica to shoot something like this. But like us as Jamaican artists now do that. Most people want to shoot the same place that one they shoot and do the same thing now, bro. Like, you see me? The
Mm,
music different, so they can make a match the visuals and you see me?
for sure.
Me is a girls man still like I love women. You know what I mean? I say so like I go show women like that's what I want to show like so
Mm.
much beautiful girl down there. So like you see me like want to showcase the whole thing and
Yeah, man,
you know but real life same time, real life situation. So
for sure.
mm-hmm.
How did you link up with Iotosh? Because we made a track together a few years ago called Reasons, and he's
I
someone I'm a
remember
big fan of. And he's just gone from strength to strength with working with Protege and Lila
yeah,
Iken. So
yeah.
how did you guys link? What's the story?
Uh Me and Ayo so when I was in college, Ayo had reached out to me on SoundCloud because that's where everything was popping at the time.
Mm,
Um, I think this was around the time I dropped that project. Like and in like underground rap community, that's what I mean. I said what we were doing at the time was big. You know what I mean. I said like on that rap scene and like just yard rap out of Jamaica as Jamaicans. You see me? So I know Ayo had he used to like comment, reach out and everything there. It's not till I came back to Jamaica one time. I think it was in the summer, so that I linked with him. Like actually I saw him in person and said, "Oh, is your name Iotosh?" And then, funnily enough, pretty much the week after that, I call him and I say, "Yo, I have an idea. I want to like I heard Uptown Tampa. I didn't even tell him what it was, but that's what it was like. I
yeah.
heard Uptown Tampa ranking up at Dub Club, and like something just I'm singing this song like for 2 days straight. So it would have been like a Tuesday now. I'm like, yo, driving in the car, get the idea for say, yo, sample this, flip this, um, take that rhythm there and make something modern with it. Make something that have all of the modern elements and go again with it because that's just a classic. You see me? And I like basically saw everything and his Iotosh, my check set for link,
Mm,
even though I just met him. So I called him up. I was like, yo, bro, I know I just met you like last week, but like, yo, we need you for coming a session when you're free. Say, all right, next day, link up the next day. And funnily enough, these are just divine timing and that's a kind of like my thing, you see me? In terms of like, it's just a story that will sit you out my life. A lot of things just align, you see me? Um, so just give thanks for that in a reality. But when I got there and I told him, yo, this is what we're gonna do. He said, yo, that's crazy, bro. I started working on that same rhythm like 2 years ago and I just couldn't finish it. And so, you see me, like he opens up the
yeah.
session and there the rhythm is. You see me, we just did some more work on it, switched out some things. And I mean, that was a work in progress. The rhythm didn't finish till maybe like a year after because we had to remove the sample altogether, play over elements, etc., etc. But yeah, that was me and Io's first link up, and it's just been love, like definitely been love. That's my brother. You see
Yeah.
me? Yeah.
You got the new record out, Lonely. What's the response been like so far for it?
Yeah. It's love that you see me like I'm really excited. I really appreciate everything that like people, like all of the love that I'm seeing. You see me? Because like enough work going to this. Like I said, it's 3 years. The record that is not coming. They
Mm,
want it down.
mm,
It's just work. You see me? Work and different things and but that's just God timing again. You see me? Because I feel like it has come out at the right time and a lot of people are feeling that right now, especially with what's going on. You see me? As much as I don't like to talk about it, that's just the reality. You see me? But definitely love like people naturally gravitating towards it. People saying all type of stuff, sending me all type of messages, like how it really make them feel. And to me, that is the most important thing about like being a musician is being able to like make people feel and like being able for people to say, yo, I relate to that. You see me? At the end of the day, like I feel that I know that feeling. You see me? And maybe for me, Lonely is a song that everybody feel it, but nobody not really want to talk about it. You see me? That feeling like loneliness in a relationship, like going through a relationship and having to be vulnerable. Like everybody feels that and everybody's been hurt, but nobody want to really talk about it. So I knew it was something that people would have connect with, and like for just to see the response so far is like it's just a blessing, bro. Like, you see
Yeah,
me?
man.
Yeah.
Did you release it yourself or have you signed it to a label?
So I do distribution. So I still own the masters. But I distribute through a company named EQ Distribution. They are an arm of Rock Nation. So
Mm.
they, that's Jay Z. Jay Z is a pioneer of what we're doing right now. What man like Nipsey do, is owning your records, owning your masters, and you know what I mean. I said getting it out there, having equity. So EQ distribution, equity distribution, is in
Yeah, man.
fully 100.
And what's in store? Any more collaborations? Any more beats with Iotosh? What can we
Yeah,
expect?
me and I have a whole like create. You see me? Me and I have a create and like yeah, couple more collaborations coming out. You see me? I don't want to say too much from now. You see me?
Mhm.
But some mad things. We have some things coming for the weed smokers. You see me? We have some things obviously for the ladies. You see me? And just mad collabs, mad love, and just mad music. You see me?
Yeah, yeah.
We know the people that will connect with. So
Looking forward to it,
exciting
man.
times, bro.
Yeah, looking forward
Mm.
to it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Well, that's kind of it, man. Thank you so much for catching up with us, and best of luck with the single, and hopefully when the corona clears up and we return to kind of some kind of normality, maybe we can expect you up in the UK or a Europe tour soon,
man,
maybe.
definitely. We are gear up. We are do everything on our side so that once this thing live, we're
Hmm.
ready for it. You see
Yeah,
me?
really,
That our dream board from kids. Like
yeah,
Corona, it is what it is. Like the time is the time. Like you just have to use your time wisely at the end of the day.
that's it.
You see me? And so we are ready up, man. So we soon link up, man. Jim. We done.
Yeah, man. Big up, bro.
So bless up,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, man, and hail up Abigail for sorting it all out.
Yeah, man. You done.